Okay, so let's go to the last section of the important keys. This is techniques. Now, what we are going to look at under techniques is the paraphrase. We already know what paraphrasing means. The practice of substituting keywords using their synonyms or phrases in ways that they still retain the same meaning. Now, in your listening test, there is so much paraphrasing, so much by the audio. And this is the major reason a lot of test takers don't even get to know when answers are said. Because they expect that the audio would read the questions before saying the answers exactly the way the questions are written. Whereas audio will never do that. Audio will find a way of rephrasing the same question. Right? So let's try to understand how this guy works out. Words. How does the audio paraphrase words to figures? Maybe you might hear something about um okay, so here about techniques, we are looking at paraphrasing that ways audio will change the words, the questions you've read by using synonyms or phrases that still interpret the same thing as what's written on the question paper. And of course, most people who read the question expect the audio to read the question the way they are written on the question paper, but audio will never do that. Audio will find a way of rephrasing or restating the same information while it gives the answer. So here is a practical example of how the audio can paraphrase information written or questions written in words to figures. Here, you have a question that says, every day, the youth runs a jingle, the government runs a jingle to dash youths about illegal activities on the internet space. Now, when the audio wants to treat this question, it might say, as a way of, in our quest to help the youth come out of certain things, the authorities on a daily basis actually rolls out a short clip to enlighten the young adults about certain cyber crimes they commit.
The order is enlightened.
The answer is enlightened.
Though you didn't mention sensitize, though you didn't mention orientation, orientation goes, so, sensitized goes, enlightenment goes.
So here, the authorities, daily basis, short clips, young adults, cyber crime. Cyber crime has to do with illegal activities on the internet. Yeah. So the audio will never read questions just
exactly
the way they are written.
And that is limited time
and
to comprehend this.
That's why they give you
that is wickedness. Time. That is wickedness. If it is summary, you read something, they ask you to summarize. You are reading that thing, and you are fashioning out a way to do. But this one, they wrote a different thing and they expect you to paraphrase it within a short time. time frame.
Okay, now what? Let's understand how this can be achieved. How can this be achieved? When the question says, first you have some time to read questions 1 to 5. Then you quickly go through every day the government agenda. So what will you identify as keywords that can be paraphrased?
Everyday government. Jingo.
Runs, use, illegal activities on the internet.
Almost everything.
Almost everything. So you are not reading to understand. You're actually reading to see the keywords there so that when the audio begins to play, you are aware of the words in the question. So that even if they paraphrase it, you also catch. So here, in a bid to actually reduce crime in a society, the authorities on a daily basis rolls out some shortly to enlighten young adults about the cybercrime. So they just want to see how you are able to understand the English. Right? So that's how it can go from words to figures. So here it could be on 24 hours basis. So 24 hours basis represents every day. Right? Then it may also be figures to words if it talks about 4 weeks. This is equivalent to what?
1 month. Monthly.
So your question has 4 weeks, but the audio will not say 4 weeks. Audio will say 1 month. So those are ways the audio can paraphrase what is written as questions into substitute ways of expressing these same questions. Now, words or figures to fractions. When you have something about a quarter or 1/4,
by annually, by monthly.
A quarter means what? A quarter
1/4 of the particular thing.
1/4
Of a particular thing.
1/4
Of a particular thing.
of a particular thing. Then in percentage, the quarter can be expressed in percentage as what?
0.25.
25%. Over 100. The whole 100%.
Yeah.
So a quarter of it, 25%. Now another question might say half of an entire. Half of an entire can be paraphrased in fraction as what?
1/2.
1/2,
50%.
2/4, and this can be
50%.
50%. So when you have expressions like that, please prepare your mind for possible ways IELTS can paraphrase them. Because when you don't realize that the audio is already treating this question because they are paraphrasing it, that means automatically you won't even know when answers. So that's where it becomes a problem. And once you are not able to get certain answers, especially from the beginning, and you hear that is the end of section 1, it takes the grace of God for you to pick up.
Yeah.
Because you'll be so disorganized. Alright? And disappointed in oneself. Okay, now let's go to the last part. Paraphrasing words or figures to general terminology. So let's look at these few expressions. Okay. So let's look at these lists of expressions and find out alternative or substitute ways the audience can express them.
Let me try and skip the ones I don't know.
Okay, every day can be expressed as what?
Daily.
Daily as word or 24 hours, right?
Okay, weekly.
Weekly as word or 7 days. Every 2 weeks?
Fortnightly.
Okay, it can be
Bi-weekly.
bi-weekly or
Fortnightly.
every fortnight. Monthly
Monthly.
or every
4 weeks.
4 weeks. Every 3 months?
Quarterly.
Quarterly. Every 6 months?
Half yearly.
Annually. Every year?
Yearly.
Yearly
Or annually.
or annually. Every 2 years?
Perennially.
Every 2 years is biannually.
Biennial. What of perennially?
That's 3 years.
Eh?
3 years or more. 3 years.
Biennially.
Biannually.
Okay.
Biannually.
Pere is 3.
3 and above.
Okay.
3 and above. Nearly 25. How might we express something that is nearly 25? About
Okay.
2 dozens.
About 2 dozens. 20 is score.
20 is
Score.
score of individuals. 25 years. Silver
Jubilee.
$50 years.
Golden Jubilee.
$10 years of existence.
Decade. A decade.
A decade. 30 years. 3
Decades.
decades. 100 years.
Century.
A century. 1,000 years.
A millennium. Right, you might want to note down these guys in case. Not in this one.
Are you okay with
I'm
that?
okay with it.
Alright, perfect.